Hey guys, welcome back to our devlog series. I spent some time working on the Agasite and Bromnium armor. We felt that giving these armor sets an update was much needed, considering we did a touch-up on the rest of the armor. I also created the outpost structure that will be used for secondary base locations. The crystal cave was a bit dark and one note before, so we decided to lighten it up a bit by adding more luminescent crystals. This area is now much easier to navigate and is more identifiable as an important resource location. While we're on the subject of lights, we realized the sparks from the armor deflection was creating far too many lights. So, we toned down the number and played with the intensity until we got a better result. Now, we have a much better mix of performance and quality.
We've been pretty busy the past few weeks. Personally, I've been working non-stop on essential systems, doing everything from bug fixes to making sure the game runs as smoothly as possible. One big thing we've added in is actually the Outpost system. If you remember a few weeks back, I talked about needing a way for the player to expand outside of their initial town. Happy to say we finished work on this expansion system and we're ready to show it to you guys. Across the map there will be a few significant locations where the player can choose to purchase an outpost. These will be building plots of varying sizes that will allow you to create a forward base for your armies.
All you need to do is approach the plot with a unit, claim the plot, and then send a worker over to construct the outpost. Enemies will need to take the structure out before claiming the outpost as their own.
Hello? What's that?
This is one of the last RTS pieces we needed to add in before launch.
Hello?
This helps gameplay a lot and makes it more dynamic, giving more objectives for the players to play around.
What's that? Need something built?
Also added functionality into interacting with and commanding structures. Due to the recent selection revamp, it was easy for me to add in a bunch of systems. For a start, you can now select multiple structures at once, or units and structures together. The benefit of this is being able to train multiple units from multiple barracks at the same time. Finally, rally points for structures have been added in as well. This can do anything from assigning workers to harvest iron to having guardsmen follow your hero around at spawn.
I'm here to serve. Ready to work.
Before we get you guys testing, we want to make sure that the player controls are easy to use and as intuitive as possible. One thing we added in to help this along is the quick order system. This will make it so that on right click, all your selected units and structures will be passed a quick order depending on what is highlighted.
For instance, if a unit is selected and you right click on an enemy, the selected unit will try to target and attack the enemy. We already had workers follow this functionality for harvesting and constructing, so we're just adding in a little bit more regarding orders depending on the circumstance.
On the topic of controls, we've also taken the time to create a controls menu where the player can view controls either in-game or in the main menu.
Next to this will also be a settings screen on the main menu. Here you can increase/decrease the quality to whatever your rig might support.
Next week, I should be finishing up final animation work, as well as adding the mace and two-handed sword variant for all metal. Once I finish these two main goals, I am free to address any other areas that might need updating before launch. I hope to have time to add in additional characters, additional hairstyles, and some armor variant.
As for me, the work plan isn't really going to change much. I'll continue fixing up and optimizing all the systems I've been working on. As for specifics, I have my eye on AI and combat mechanics in general. So hopefully next video we'll have some big strides in that department to show you guys.
And now, time for the Q&A section. S-Shark asks, will the main player character have abilities like heroes in other RTS games?
We do want the player character to have his own abilities, combat abilities, and actually economic abilities as well. For instance, the Overseer, we plan on having him give a movement bonus to workers around him and the carts around him. This will make it possible for like quick economic trips, or you can keep him inside your base in order to boost your economy a little bit. We just generally want functionality outside of combat functionality for the heroes on top of the abilities you might see in other RTS games involving combat.
Resurrect asks, how much commanding power will the hero have while in third-person mode?
We intend to give the hero a pretty decent amount of commanding power in third-person mode, such as follow, attack, move for units around him. In addition to that, there will be also contextual commands for control groups with those same basic orders. As for gluing the third-person and RTS aspects of the game together, it's good to keep in mind that the hero will have a basic AI that will allow him to engage in combat while you're in RTS mode. The main thing we want to avoid is taking away the precise controls an RTS allows in favor of giving the third-person mode more accessible commands. There's a more in-depth answer on this on the Discord if you want to really read into it, but that's our design philosophy regarding that.
S-Shark asked, will it be easy to switch up your production if your enemy has an armor or weapon that counters you?
It should be relatively easy to switch up production to something that might cause a threat to you. For instance, one thing that I know you can do is preventative measures. So you can create a batch of maybe 25 basic iron warhammers early in the game to be a cautionary measure against armor-plated enemies. Then later on you might train a couple of Vanguard with these warhammers that might benefit your army against an armored force. This could turn the tide of battle.
S-Shark also asked, will there be a mapping kit released with the game to allow users to start making their own maps?
We'd really like to have a map editor in the game, but it's going to be a bit hard to get it in before launch or in a decent time frame in general, so we'll keep you posted on that, but we really would love to add one in.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for this week's video. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And if you really want to get involved in the community, including playtesting, make sure you join the Discord, which is always linked in the description. Thank you guys, and see you next week.
Thanks, guys.